Cogardicus Latsa, Comhairle, Asokve Toffa, Mar Comhairle. I think the office of Comhairle is one of the most important offices in this state, and you have held it over the last 4 years with great skill, forbearance more often than not, and I think you've steered a difficult Dáil through those 4 years with enormous skill and an enormous understanding of the role of Parliament. I want to commiserate with Denis Naughton, a deputy who has brought a lot of ideas to the debate. I hope they're ideas that will be advanced in the context of this Dáil. Other speakers have talked about the reform agenda, and I was privileged to work with you, sir, on the Reform Committee, which I also hope is a committee that can be reconstituted quickly, so that even in the interregnum period between now and the formation of a government, we can actually look at how we can ensure that the fundamental role of this House in holding the executive to account. It's an issue that I've grappled with myself from the time I came in here first. The rebalancing of the executive and the strength of the government, and include the permanent government and civil service, and it being held to account by this House. I think Denis Naughton's point in relation to parliamentary questions are very valid ones, that we all feel a frustration. We need to have concrete solutions put forward for that. I think that those of us who have been asking Taoiseach's questions over the last number of years realise that it really is not a good way of using our time, to have set questions that are rolled over every day and answered pro forma. I think we need to fundamentally change that. You look at how other prime ministerial questions operate in other jurisdictions. I think there are things to be learned from that. I think we need to insist on the attendance of ministers in the House. There were 1 or 2 ministers who very seldom came in to answer questions in this House. And the whole idea of having questions being put to the full government and ministers being able to answer off the cuff, not in detail, but certainly to have an understanding of their own ministry, is something that will really make this a much more forceful and central parliament of our democracy. And I think we also need to look at how we can reconnect Parliament with people. We've had extraordinary good initiatives, like, for example, the Citizens' Assembly, which has fundamentally altered the way citizens input into the formulation of policy, and have, in ways, smoothed over fundamental policy shifts in a way that debate in this House has not done. And I think we can look at maybe outreach more in terms of parliamentary scrutiny with citizens' groups to make this place central and relevant to all the people. But they're the tasks that lie ahead. To you, Comhairle, to your wife and family, I congratulate you on not only being re-elected, but if, of course, the first port of call is not to wait for the announcement of the result here. I looked online and got to the Irish Times website. It looked like a very strong and overwhelming vote for you, and that I think that underscores the high regard that you are held in by the members of this House across all political shades of opinion and points of view. And that only, I hope, will stand to encourage you to continue the reforming zeal that you showed in the last 4 years. And I look forward to whatever role I happen to play in the coming months and years to work with you in ensuring that Dáil Éireann is among the most respected and the most forceful and authoritative parliamentary chambers in the world.
Deputy Howlin, Deputy Boyd.